I don't think we're going to see massive layoffs in the next 2 or 3 quarters. I just don't, and I'm going to explain why. Okay? Number one, companies, and I mentioned this in our last segment, companies are wary of letting people go because they're afraid they can't get them back or won't get them back. I mean, we're already dealing with the situation there in the job economy. All right, that's number one. Number two, companies have other ways to cut cost. Okay, so this is a story from Vox. Ditching office space is a very early lever that a lot of companies pull to reduce cost. They'll also get rid of other benefits, which we'll cover in a second. But I want to get to this ditching office space and what it means for remote work. Alex, I think 4 or 5 months ago, we started to see a trend where some CEOs were going, I never liked remote work. I had to do it during the pandemic. I want them coming back. And so we've had a big rub, right? Now, with all these economists saying pretty likely we're heading into a recession, but I got some updates on that. Hang with me. Boy, this segment is going to be full. A lot of economists still saying we're going into recession, so companies will get scared, so they're tightening the belt. All right, now watch. So what companies start to do is they ditch office space. They've been renting, and they go, you know what? We worked remote during the pandemic. We're going to send you back home. I think it's going to lead to a stalemate on remote work. I think remote work is going to increase over the next 6 months. It's already happening. Meta, which is the, I hate that name, is the parent company of Facebook. They recently announced in an earnings call that they're going to spend $3 billion to get out of leases. Can you imagine? They're going to spend $3 billion, Alex, to save money. I can't even, I don't even get that. And they hope it's going to save them money in the long run. So you see a lot of tech companies are going to do this because tech are going, look, we can work from home anyway. So I just think it's, remote work had the dual benefit of saving money when it comes to office space. And I just think that's going to be an issue. So I think you're going to see remote work stay. I don't know if the hybrid model is going to be the all-in play yet. I think you might see remote work stick around and what I mean by stick around is as a much more viable option for companies who don't want to do remote work. They might stick with it or go back to it in order to cut costs in real estate. That's the point. But we're also seeing companies ditch things like free laundry service, free coffee, maybe some crappier snacks. You might start seeing the old snack machines go away. I don't know, but it's what they're saying. You will see hiring freezes. By the way, if you're always wondering, how do I know if layoffs are coming? Well, hiring freezes are usually first. It doesn't mean that layoffs are imminent, but know that hiring freezes are a lever that companies will pull to save money. But let's just look at this. Layoffs were near historic lows at less than 1% of total employment in October. Nathan, I'm going to do something fun here. I think you can do this. We got about 4 minutes left in this segment. I want you to pull the classic YouTube clip of Herm Edwards saying, playoffs? Oh, no, Jim Mora. Jim Mora Sr., the Colts. This is Amanda's guy. Pull that clip and give me a thumbs up, Alex, if we have it ready for the end of this segment. We're going to have some, it's just perfect because everybody's talking about layoffs. And I think it's a bunch of hype. Why? Here's why. In October, this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics report. Layoffs were near historic lows at 1%. So everybody's freaking out. Layoffs? That's what I want to do. I'm going to do my version of Jim Mora's classic thing. All right, that's coming. We'll wait for that at the end of the segment. There are still 10.3 million open jobs. And I'm telling you, because there are 10.3 million available jobs, companies are very nervous about laying people off. They're going to try to cut costs in every other area possible. Why? Because they know how hard it is to go get talent right now. So why am I telling you this? If you actually look at the job numbers, we only had 1% of the workforce laid off in October. Okay? The sky is not falling. Now, guess what I woke up to this morning, Alex? News that Jerome Powell, our feckless Fed chair, who's been raising interest rates like a complete moron, is now saying, well, we might slow down on interest rate raises. And so people are saying, stock market outlook looks good for the end of the year. All of a sudden, we're starting to hear, wait a second, we might have a soft landing after all. Jerome Powell and his feckless tribe around him may lay off and not try to drive us into a recession with the interest rates. It's very interesting. So here's my point. Companies are going to cut costs first. Layoffs are always a part of our job economy. And right now, despite all the talk about layoffs, only 1%. Only 1% in October. Historically low layoffs. And if the interest rates chill out a little bit, if our feckless Fed chair relaxes a little bit, then I'm just not buying the doom and gloom is what I'm asking you to hear me say. I'm not scared for you. Do you need to be prepared? Yes, I tell you that all the time. Be prepared. But all of this talk. Now, let me tell you one other thing they're going to take away from me, and then we'll get to our fun clip. How long is that clip? It's just 2 or 3 seconds, right? Oh, this is going to be fun. You know what else they're cutting? If your company previously had Zoom, but they got Google or Microsoft that have competing products, guess what? They're going to cut your license to Zoom. They're going to do it. They're going to cut Dropbox. Microsoft's got a competitor to that. They'll cut it. If they already have one software that has a competing product and they've been paying for something else, they're going to cut it. So do know that there might be a little bit of pain as companies cut back to see what they're doing. But by the way, I think they should.